Alright, last week in August, take a quick look at the south boxes here, peppers. So, we see in front here our transplant, or late season transplant, the Laotian hot peppers. Still, plant hasn't still really bounced back. We've had flowers, but no new fruits. So, pretty sad about that. We'll just have to see if it's going to come out. Now the Bulgarian carrot has pushed out lots of peppers, and they're ripened up. And so I picked some. Haven't actually tried them myself. I've given some away. We'll see, but there they are, the nice little guys there. Pretty productive for that little plant. It's nice and compact too. This tall guy here is the hot cherry, and it's a huge plant with lots and lots and lots of flowers. And we are seeing here these fruits that have been here a while. They just haven't ripened yet. So looks like they take quite a while to get going here, which is kind of weird. But I can see a little bit of color starting to be right there, those ones. So we should see some of those soon. But this plant is very tall compared to its neighbors. And if we come around here, push these away a little bit, we'll see this here, this plant right here, is our Fresno. We have those lovely Fresno chilies right here. This is also a very productive plant. We've had several of those already, probably a dozen or so. It looks like there's, about another half dozen, or probably a whole another dozen that'll be ripe within the week. So, very excited about that. I did get one more little cayenne off of this guy, this tiny short little guy. And we have another pepper there. So this one definitely did the best for the transplant peppers here. So that's looking good. Then we'll move on to the back side of the house here. So we have our 2 Hungarian hot wax peppers, which have done very well. If you remember, last week we had to do some surgery and take off that heavy branch, but since then we picked all the peppers, and now there's probably another a dozen peppers on each one, and they're doing very well. So we've just been pickling them or eating them, however. So they're looking good and fantastic. The serranos are very heavily laden. I've been actually letting them go all the way to red. That's actually what will happen with all of them. They said if you wait long enough, most people don't, but so I have. So I picked probably a dozen or so that are the red ones, and here's one looks like fell ground. So you can see it goes to red, and it goes to straight red. It looks almost like a cayenne pepper, except probably not quite as long. But there's plenty of them here, and so I'm just gonna figure out some different things to do with them. But excited. They're very, very productive. I definitely won't need to plant quite so many next year unless I find a really good recipe to make some sauce, and I can can it up for the winter, which is probably what I'll end up doing. Giving a bunch away and then finding some sort of a hot sauce to make. Because these little guys, once again, are 25,000 Scoville units, and the jalapenos are about 5 to 10. So 2 to 5 times as hot as the jalapeno. So a lot more kick. All right, so speaking of jalapenos, here's our next one, and they're still doing good here, kind of big and floppy and falling around. So you can see just the differences in the pepper plants. You got the hot wax, which is kind of like about the a couple feet tall and big long peppers. And then the jalapenos, the plants, at least these ones, were kind of squatty, but got long and heavy and kind of laid down. And then these serranos, which were very, very tall and were much later in producing, but very, very productive. So, this plant here in the front would probably have, if I picked them all and counted them, probably 100 peppers. It's quite productive. But the one in the back there doesn't have quite that many, and it could be positional. I don't know. Very interesting stuff. But anyway, so our jalapenos have been doing fantastic. Some of them gone to red or black or whatnot, but most of them don't get that far we pick them when they get all striated and stuff. And anyway, still doing very productive, still doing very well. The cucumbers as well, continuing to grow. Finally reached a bunch of vines have reached the top there, putting off their delicious little cucumbers. We usually pick them on the maybe 6 to 8 inches for fresh eating, and the bigger ones we pickle just because they get a little less fresh tasting when they get bigger. But anyway, once again, these have been very, very productive. I've pickled a lot. I'm probably going to pickle some more, just because you can't eat that many fresh cucumbers. But anyway, very productive and whatnot. So things are definitely in full swing here. Even though the weather has started to cool down, the garden is still producing lots of stuff, especially for some things that weren't producing till now. So anyway, there is the south garden, the peppers and cucumbers for this week. Thanks.